Coming up on Focal Point, imagine a Spartan fan who hasn't missed a game in 19 years.
God gave her to us as a gift.
And like students in college, imagine puppies training for their future careers here at Michigan State University.
For someone who's visually impaired, who can't necessarily see the world, it's really comforting to have something like this next to them.
Coming up on Focal Point, I'm going to tell you a new transportation method that can take you to class without waiting at the bus stop.
I'll tell you why one of the best teams at Michigan State doesn't need the best athletes.
This special edition of Focal Point starts now.
Welcome to Focal Point. I'm Samantha Bassarico.
And I'm Gloria Nzeka. This is a special show celebrating all the cool things that Spartans are doing.
We start with Michael Epps, who is outside the Spartan newsroom in the lobby of the Communication Arts and Science Building playing games again. Michael?
Well, sort of. If you talk about cool things Spartans are doing, MSU students made this game. They've been making video games for years, but this time, they struck gold.
Yo, keep going, keep going.
Playing a video game with your professor sounds like a dream for most students.
I'm a pirate. I stole their gold.
The rest of the ComArts building is hard at work, while Declan gets to play a quick game.
6 people on one side, 6 people on the other, and they can both just go at it. So it's amazing when you have 12 people standing around this thing, just yelling at each other.
This is the Games for Entertainment and Learning Lab.
We're almost like a little, game dev studio.
A second home for the game development students at Michigan State.
Yeah, I'm in the lab pretty much every day.
But this home
his hand came off.
Isn't just for playing video games.
I think just being able to say, like, I make games is huge.
They create them, like this one, called Plunder Panic.
When you finish it and you put it out there, it feels really, really rewarding to have people play it and enjoy it.
A real physical video game created here. Hard to believe. The idea popped into director Brian Wynn's head over a ham sandwich.
I basically pitched the idea, and literally over lunch, we pretty much walked away with a vision for what this game was going to be.
After taking Plunder Panic to multiple conventions, the game attracted a pretty big player.
We were actually approved by Nintendo to bring the game to the Nintendo Switch. So we're currently working on that now and plan on having the Switch version out in early 2019.
Just being able to say, like, I'm going to work on a game that will be on the Nintendo Switch is huge because, like, that's, I guess, everybody who plays video games dreams to make a game that's going to be you play on a Nintendo console.
And they say it couldn't be possible without their love for games.
Plunder Panic was really a passion project because it's really more of an entertainment game than anything else. So, we did it really based on, very little money and mostly kind of our, blood, sweat, and code.
All right, all done? Okay.
And they set up these TVs behind me so that people can play the game whenever they want. Princeton Review's list of top game design programs ranked MSU in the top 10, and this is a big reason why. So I'm going to get back to playing the game. Back to you guys in the Spartan newsroom.
Owning a puppy and being a college student can be overwhelming, but a new club at MSU makes it possible to own a dog for a year and at the same time prepare it for its future job. Focal Point's Kayla Hinton has the story.
This puppy is allowed in restaurants, classes, or really anywhere.
I'm currently raising Finn. He's 6 months. He's a black lab.
Finn is a special puppy. When he's older, he'll lead the blind.
So the MSU Leader Dog Club is the official MSU student organization for Leader Dogs for the Blind. And one of the main things that we do is our two main goals are, one, to recruit puppy raisers for Leader Dogs for the Blind, and two, to support the puppy raisers that are here in the greater East Lansing area.
A fairly new club with 25 members, 5 who are currently raising puppies. These dogs will spend the first year of their life being trained to change a life.
For someone who's visually impaired, who can't necessarily see the world, it's really comforting to have something like this next to them where they're like, okay, this thing can see, this thing is my friend, this thing wants to protect me.
The dogs cannot be distracted, so they must learn commands early on.
Teaching basic commands like sit, stay, lie down. One specific to Leader Dog are touch, wait.
Okay, come. Any student can be involved in Leader Dog Club.
And we have, like I said, we have events going on, so you can get involved that way. You can help out with events, and if you'd like to, we can also put you on the list for the puppy sitting schedules.
The Leader Dog facility in Rochester, Michigan is trying to get more college campuses involved.
College campuses are great exposure for these dogs.
And although Whitney is sad to say goodbye soon,
did something really awesome, and like this person's gonna have a better life because of it. So that's what's cool. That's what's really cool about this experience.
In East Lansing, Kayla Hinton, Focal Point News.
To find more out about the club and how you can be involved, email Club President Alexandria at agerale@msu.edu.
Have you ever seen the real creative graduation cups with words or images on top of it? How about celebrity paintings? An MSU student has made a business out of all of it, and as Deja Green reports, his business is taking off.
This has been MSU student DeMarco Jackson's life since he realized
psychology just wasn't for me.
And once he found his calling, art became more than just a major for him.
You know, my mom used to always just tell me about my dad being an artist, and he was never in my life. So I don't know, I just felt like that was my way of kind of connecting with him even though he wasn't around.
While he's trying to connect with his father, he began his connection with campus through his company.
DeMarco's Mark is literally just about me like making my mark before I leave here at Michigan State, and I really just want people to know my name. I just want the acknowledgement that, you know, I've always deserved.
In just a year, DeMarco's Mark has blossomed into something DeMarco never imagined.
It's really been a blessing to see myself grow. It's a dream come true.
A dream that still seems unreal, especially when he delivers the artwork.
Their smiles like just blow up, and I'm just like, what? It's a different feeling because they're actually happy for something that I've created.
Jackson has been satisfying his customers, but he wants them to know his true self through his cartoon style.
Oh, I really feel like I have like a different message to deliver. I just had to wait until my heart is ready to release it.
Until then, he says he'll keep giving the people what they want.
I'm really looking for a response.
In East Lansing, Deja Green, Focal Point News.
The good news is that Jackson is very busy. The bad news is that he's so busy he won't start taking new orders until the beginning of next year.
Have you ever wondered what the largest sources of pollution are? You might be surprised by the answer.
Plus, we'll learn more about a company that helps students travel.
All that and more after the break. Spartans are doing a lot of cool things, and that's the name of this show. Welcome back. Have you ever driven down Grand River Avenue in East Lansing and come across a restaurant that caught your eye, and it was because it had a strange name? Tatiana Hemphill takes us to a place called Toast.
I just believe this was like really God's plan.
David Yuhan is a man with big dreams, dreams that started when he was a boy.
The influence that I got the most was from my mom's dad, grandpa.
David was born in America but spent majority of his childhood in Indonesia. When he returned, his family created a life in Okemos, Michigan.
I'm so happy that we are here.
Making friends was a little hard too, but as soon as we played ball together, I think we just we just connected.
And in addition to playing ball, David loved a good meal.
And some things that we missed was like our friends, you know, and once again the food.
The food. David turned his passion into a living.
I am very proud of him, and he's the one that can explain to you more details.
He can explain it in one word: toast.
We came out with this very unique food.
It's not your average toast that you just pop in the oven and throw some butter on. His creation is called Honey Toast, made from scratch, topped with fresh fruit and ice cream. A new dessert, and it's popular.
And it was really, really good. So then we came actually back the next day.
David's recipe is simple.
Fresh, simple ingredients, and made from scratch.
His recipe for life hasn't been that easy, but now he thinks it's pretty sweet.
You know, it has been a learning process, you know, for me to say the least.
In Lansing, I'm Tatiana Hemphill, Focal Point News.
Toast is spelled Toaste, and it is located near the corner of Grand River on Hagedorn in the Brooklyn Field Plaza.
So, you just graduated college. Many of us are desperately trying to find that first job in the real world. But what if you graduate at the same time you start your own business? Shelby Sacco found 2 MSU alums with that wonderful problem.
How did 2 MSU students start the fastest growing collegiate company in the Midwest? I met up with these 2 entrepreneurs to discuss their booming business.
A company started by 2 former MSU students is changing the college experience.
University Viro is a one-stop shop, concierge, travel events, and entertainment company for everything college.
In just under a year, the company has helped give over 100,000 students the ultimate college experience.
Well, University Viro got started. It was actually on accident.
Matt Carroll and TK wanted to get a group together to go down to Fort Lauderdale for spring break. Within 3 weeks, they had over 2,000 other students in a Facebook page, and they started reaching out to various bar owners.
Next thing you know, Fort Lauderdale, we're down there with 3,000 people, bringing them from here to here to here to here, and we realized after that, that's a business.
The company started by planning events for spring break. They sent students to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and soon their business blossomed into something much bigger.
800 students to Toronto in the last, I think that was 6 months ago. We've also done Vegas. We're on our 3rd Vegas trip now. We've done a lot of concerts. We've done a lot of festivals. We've partnered with Prime Music Festival, which we brought here to Michigan State.
Both former students say attending Michigan State was crucial to their business's success.
I was born in Zimbabwe, so for me to really come to Michigan State and be able to have the opportunity to go here, at first really was just an eye-opening experience for me.
If it wasn't for the social aspects of being on campus, we wouldn't have this.
Now, TK's journey has come full circle.
Able to meet a professor named Bill Donahue. He was, I would say, one of the single-handed most important people in my development and entrepreneurship and where I'm at now.
He said, after he heard what we've done in less than a year, he was like, well, I've actually been talking with some of the head of the departments here, and we're looking to create an event minor at Michigan State. Why don't you come on board?
A booming business and a teaching career? Who said partying wouldn't pay off?
These 2 alum were interviewed by Entrepreneur Magazine and named 2018's top 15 entrepreneurs to follow. From the Spartan Newsroom, I'm Shelby Sacco, Focal Point News.
Chantel Booker always knew her creativity would take her places. 682 miles to be exact. Focal Point's Milan Revels has her story.
Chantel Booker wasn't always into fashion design.
I didn't know much about fashion coming in to MSU, so I didn't decide that that's what I wanted to do until after I got here and made my first couple garments.
Her passion for fashion was driven by something a little different.
Originally, I thought that I wanted to do I wanted to be a color and trim designer in automotives because I was in the car design program in high school, so that's where I got that idea from.
The apparel and textiles design student shifted gears from sketching the interiors of cars to drawing up dresses.
Learning more about apparel and textiles and being in the classes and producing actual designs is when I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
She found her calling at Michigan State and hasn't looked in the rearview since. Now, Booker has her eyes set on something new.
I see myself working as a costume designer assistant to someone important.
She won a trip to this year's New York Fashion Week.
We had to design a concept garment about MSU, using MSU branding in different ways.
The committee posed a question to the applicants. What do you think makes Michigan State great? Booker delivered.
I think MSU is great because of the community. So my garment is about MSU community, how we all come from different backgrounds and how it's so diverse.
But it's what lies under the stamps that really hit home for the selection committee, who chose the talented Spartan over hundreds of applicants from across the country.
I also used the black fabric, and the stamps are on top of the black fabric, showing that we can rise above and be greater than the issues that we faced in the past.
Her reaction was priceless.
Called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm going to Fashion Week.
For now, Chantel is focused on earning her degree, but she's already sketched up an idea of where she sees herself in the future.
5 years, I want to see myself like working on a movie, working on a theater production.
In East Lansing, I'm Milan Revels, Focal Point News.
Wow, that was a beautiful gown.
Yes, how long do you think that took?
No idea, but the Detroit native plans on enrolling in grad school in either New York or Los Angeles after receiving her degree from Michigan State. You might not expect that the fashion industry will create pollution, but it does. And an MSU junior is doing something about it. I spent a few hours with Timosha Krivtsov, and he showed me how he's making a difference. A sustainable outfit to help save the planet.
So it's thinking about how can we reinvent clothing.
Timosha Krivtsov is a junior in the Department of Apparel and Textile Design.
I've been working on a sustainable clothing brand for about 3 years now.
And he is a designer with a heart for protecting the environment.
I started to thinking about systems. So how can we design a whole new way of designing clothing? How can we make clothing not as harmful to the environment and still fulfill our stylistic needs and desires?
His clothing line, Art Plus Texture, recently introduced Sweatshirt One.
We call it the all-in-one solution pollution for fashion.
An 8-piece sweatshirt that can be worn in different ways.
The fact that not only is it a hoodie, it is also a crew neck. So if you unzip this component right here, you get a crew neck, and then you could unzip the sleeves, and then you get a vest, and then the finale, we have a crop top as well.
Besides Sweatshirt One, Timosha is working on designing more products.
So in the future, once we can be more established, we want to create a whole new category.
And he plans to establish his business in the Big Apple.
I see us having a retail location in New York, in Manhattan, and because that's where we can get the most influence.
Sweatshirt One will be ready to order in January of 2019 and will go for the price of $230.
A love for volleyball bonds this father-daughter duo.
She might just be the biggest Spartan fan I've ever seen. See how after the break.
I'm Tom Izzo. I'm the MSU men's basketball coach. My teams have won a national championship, 7 Big Ten championships, and we've been to the Final Four 7 times, and we're not done yet. Now, you might think my job is to win championships. It's not. My job is to build smart, strong, talented young men who win championships. My job is to build Spartans, to teach lessons that start on the court but carry on into the rest of their lives. My dad was my first mentor. He taught me about work. He taught me I might not always be the smartest or most talented guy in the court, but that I could make up for it with hard work and determination. He was right, and that's what I teach my players. A player-coach team is better than a coach-coach team. That's what I've always believed. I know that's a big part of our success. Talented individuals focused on a common purpose, working together to accomplish incredible goals. My top priority is teaching these guys how to reach their dreams on the court and beyond, helping them learn how to live lives they can be proud of, how to be a Spartan.
Welcome to the show celebrating the cool things that Spartans are doing. Now, most sports have their super fans. Some go to all the games, others collect memorabilia. But there are those that do both. Kendall Ashman joins us now live with a cool story about a super fan who loves the Spartans in a very special way.
Thanks, Samantha. It started with 2 tickets to a volleyball game 19 years ago, and 2 decades later, they haven't missed a single game. But it's not so much the game that this MSU dad is afraid of missing out on. It's a special bond that he shares with the one he's seen every game with. Inside Jennison Fieldhouse, the volleyball team warms up for another match in a long season. Tonight, it's Michigan State against Wisconsin. And it means about a half-hour away in Grand Ledge.
The princess sleeping here.
That fan is getting ready to go.
There.
Stephanie Russell traded in Barbie dolls for basketballs and baby dolls for volleyballs a long time ago.
Love state.
So much so that everything in her room is Spartified.
Kind of like a museum.
Yeah.
You don't always want to see the same thing, so she moves them around.
For the Russells, it wasn't always easy having a child with Down syndrome.
He was very upset, and he kept focusing on the things that he's going to miss. Walking her down the aisle when she gets married. Prom, all those types of things.
Yeah, and it took me a while to accept that. And I can't say I was always the best person growing up because of it. I had a lot of doubt and hidden anger.
Well, we both went through a depression for a while.
My wife pointed out that I should learn all the things that I'm missing because of her, not the things that I'm missing on the opposite end.
So that's when it all started, a bond between daddy and daughter.
And it became a daddy-daughter thing. For years, people thought he was a single dad because it was a daddy-daughter thing.
Yes. Leaving mom at home, Dad and Steph haven't missed a night out to the gym in almost 2 decades. It's truly a place where Steph can just be Steph. And for the past 9 years, win or lose, Coach Kathy George has not gone a game without a hug.
Well, Steph always sits behind the bench, and she's always coming up to give me a big hug, right?
In fact, knowing Steph is like getting a hug when you need one.
Love you, baby.
Everybody can learn something about life from Steph. Mom at home knows it.
We've come to realize she truly is a gift to us. God gave her to us as a gift.
And Dad certainly has learned more about life from Steph than just about anybody.
I don't think she really knows who's winning or losing.
But does it really even matter?
It doesn't matter, not at all.
Big or small, everyone can learn something from Steph. Steph has so much Spartan stuff, her parents moved some of it into the backyard. Her pink old Barbie playhouse is now coated over with green and white, of course. And that's where she likes to spend time with her mom over a cup of tea. I hope you guys enjoyed. Back to you, Samantha.
Thanks, Kendall. What a great story. We can all learn a little more about what's important in life through Steph.
Absolutely. A lot of times the hardest working people are the ones you don't hear from a lot. Focal Point Andrew Burkle joins us now live with more. Andrew?
Yeah, Gloria, well, have you ever seen one of these? It's a Formula race car that Spartan students designed and built right here at MSU. Michigan State is known for their hoops. The basketball team started the season in the AP Top 10, but one of the best teams at Michigan State might be one you've never heard of.
So we're the Michigan State Formula Racing Team. We design, build, and race a brand new Formula-style vehicle every single year.
MSU is a top team in the nation, and this year we're trying to push that into a top team throughout the world.
This car right behind me is the one the MSU Formula Racing Team used to place second out of 80 teams at their competition in Lincoln, Nebraska. The team meets at their garage in Okemos, where they put in crazy hours, almost always over 40 a week, in addition to their classes.
At a minimum. When it comes to design season, we'll say maybe get 3 hours of sleep a night. That's for 2 weeks, maybe more.
When you spend that much time at work, you better like it.
We've definitely become like a small family. We all get pretty close with each other.
There's no other feeling like seeing something that you had a hand in, driving on the road, and competing against the best teams in the world.
People have many different reasons for joining the team.
For me personally, I actually just like staying busy. Unlike most people on the team, I don't really care about cars. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't really like cars. If you asked me what car that was outside, I would not be able to tell you.
It matches the experience of like any internship you get, and like more too, because you get to build on top of like what you would see at an internship.
This team definitely has Spartan pride.
I think one of the best memories we have is after one of our finishes we had, we're at Chen, go green, go white, all the way down the paddock and past every team. So it's always a great feeling.
The team is working right now on ways to improve on their second place finish last year in Lincoln, Nebraska. They're also looking at a possible scheduling change in order to compete with some of the top international teams. Samantha, back to you.
Students could get around campus on foot, bike, skateboard, bus, and most recently the Bird and Lime scooters. But now something new has hit the streets.
It's a popular way to get to class, especially since the bus is free now. Walking is free, biking, riding a moped, or driving will get you to campus. But now, a new option.
Out of all the different kinds of transportation on campus, Josh Cooper thought of an even different one.
It's called Scoop.
We started looking into low-cost, energy-efficient, eco-friendly forms of transportation, and we ultimately got to the pedicab.
MSU sophomore Josh Cooper is CEO and founder of Scoop.
When I got to Michigan State as a freshman, I really saw the need for micro-mobility solutions, that like short 0 to 5 mile transport.
He created Scoop Incorporated so students could get from here to there for free.
At Scoop, what we really do is we partner with local and national businesses, and we work with them very closely to make sure that we're meeting their monthly marketing and branding goals and objectives. And we do that in all kinds of different ways, from promoting brands and businesses to everyone who sees us on our billboards.
That's how Josh pays himself, 1 mile at a time.
We're always here to take you on a free ride whenever you want. You need a ride? Need a ride?
And you won't find the drivers breaking a sweat.
Listen, it's actually not a workout at all. I don't even break a sweat on these shifts because this thing's electrically powered.
To ride in a Scoop, just simply wave them down like a taxi cab. They operate during the day for class from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., during dinner from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and for nightlife from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
That's a great idea. One easy option to get around campus. That's all for this week's special edition of Focal Point. I'm Gloria Nzeka.
And I'm Samantha Bastrigo. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you after the holiday break.